What is up, guys? Today the bus saga shall continue. I should put door panels on too. I don't think I've shown you guys that. But anyway, today is going to be about doing the oil cooler, finally. So draining the oil right now, then gonna see which one of these adapters I need to use. So I got the one just kind of mocked up in there that I want to use, but there's just a no good spot for the lines to run, especially once it's all the way up, which is pretty much there. So I'm going to go to plan B, which is why I bought it. So at least I got it. So yeah, put this guy in there, way cleaner. It's gonna be way better with them coming out the bottom. So I am back with all the fittings and barb fittings I should need. I kind of drew it out. That's kind of how I went off of what I will need, because I'm also adding a temp sensor, so I was gonna need a T in there. So I'm gonna kind of mock it up here, kind of see how it's gonna go and see if all the fittings I got are gonna work good, and yeah, so let's put it together. All right, so it should be go time. Gonna start with installing the cooler. It's gonna go between one of the frame rails and then the back bar. So one of these are gonna go on each side of the cooler. So that will hold the back of it, and the front of it will kind of just piggyback onto this rail right here. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I basically got the brackets on the filter set up. I drilled an extra hole here just because I had to have this bracket come out as far as it could. And over here, well, the line is in the way, so you can't really get another bolt there. Okay, so looks like I've got it figured out now. I had to drill the holes for this back one a little bigger just so I can fit this. Okay, so I went back and kind of cleaned these straps up a lot sturdier now, and that thing's not going anywhere, so I can close the book on mounting that. I'm trying to think where I want to mount the filter. I think I'm gonna just put on the adapter on the engine and kind of run lines and map it out kind of from there and see where I think the best spot's gonna be. It's gotta kind of run like this over the transaxle, going over the heater, accordion, no. Then come on right here, and then coming out over this, and I think right around this area will be a really good spot for the filter. And then right there is my cooler. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of lay it out right around here. So fast forward to the next day. Yesterday ended with installing the oil cooler, running the lines. Everything was ready to go, and started the car up, and everything leaked. Every fitting leaked. So what I used the first time was this brown Permatex sealer. It didn't work for my application. Had to take all the fittings off and just redo everything with this white sealant, which said could use for oil. Put that all on, let it dry for about an hour, and everything leaked again, except for the fittings on the cooler. Don't know why that is. So did some Google searches, found a lot of people use is yellow Teflon tape. Went to Home Depot the next day, picked that up, put it on all the fittings, tightened the hell out of everything, and it doesn't leak now. So that's solved. I couldn't find, I was gonna show you what it is, I couldn't find it, so here's a picture of what I specifically used. And yeah, so that really sealed it all up, so nothing leaks now. So just gonna drive around, make sure everything's good. Then we're gonna move on to just throwing on the temp gauge and see what the oil temp actually is.
hot out here. At least my VW is not as hot now though. That's the key. I'd always be thinking, if I'm this hot out, how hot is my car? It's just I'm not used to cars that like don't have, you know, water cooling systems. It kind of just blows my mind how it even works, especially when it's this hot. Because I haven't had a problem with it ever, and it gets to be like 100 degree increase here in the desert, and I've never had a problem with it. And with that new steering stabilizer I put on also, it's just like there's no more creaks or noises going on.
We are totally leak free, so now I'm gonna go on to installing the oil temp gauge, and then we'll see what my oil temp actually is. Let's do it. Got all hooked up. I don't have the right self tappers. I need to mount it right now, so I just want to hook it up for the meantime and just see what it even reads. So I'm gonna start the car up and just see if I got everything hooked up right and see if it's working.
Alright, kind of got it zip tied into place just for the meantime so I can drive it. And the temp starts at 140 and it actually has started to go up. It's probably been running for about 5 minutes now, just idling right here. Let's take around the block and just see how hot it gets. I guess it is working now, so I was kind of afraid it wasn't moving for a while, but I guess the cooler's doing its job. It's running pretty cool. So let's take it for a spin. The only thing I don't know is how hot is considered hot. I'm thinking it's probably around 230 would be. That's what's in the middle of the gauge, so I'm assuming that's probably where you want to be, I'm thinking. I just wonder how hot is like, oh, I need to pull over. I guess once the oil light comes on, but that's kind of the whole point, so you don't get to that point, I guess, with cooler. So we're pretty much at 180 now. Braking 180 now, right about 185. Obviously, I guess the real test would be going up a hill on the freeway or something, or just climbing any kind of hills where you really be getting hot. Well, sweet. That was kind of the last piece of this cooling puzzle, so it feels good that it's working and that bus is running pretty cool.
And just like that, everything is wired up, mounted, and the job is done. So real quick, I'll just show you guys how everything's routed as far as the oil cooling lines, just in case you want to see that. It's following the outline, which is this one, dropping out of the engine, just going kind of under the engine, over everything right here, going up there, dropping right through there, into the oil filter, running from the filter to the cooler, out of the cooler, back through where all the other lines ran, back to the engine. So I hope all that might help anyone who is thinking about putting an oil cooler on a bus or is in the process too and just wants to see how someone else did it. That's how I did it, and it seems to be working out pretty good. So I'll leave some links to all the products that I used. I know I haven't been the best at uploading, and I'm sorry for that, but I really got some cool cars coming up and projects going on and video ideas that I'm really excited to make and put out there and have you guys see. So subscribe and stay tuned for all that. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. See ya.